I got my mind set on saying good morning. How y'all doing this week?
Fantastic.
Great.
Super wet.
Man, I'm still pretty wet after how that last video did compared to. I mean, you know, it wasn't no pooty pie, but shit, we broke 30 in an hour. In the first hour, we've never gotten that many views that fast. So
yeah.
I'm happy with it.
Wasn't no pooty pie.
Wasn't no pooty pie.
I don't think I want a booty pie.
Let me get some of that booty pie.
The booty.
Now that I can get behind.
Booty pie.
And
yes, you can.
And some booty thunder.
These kids these days do like to eat them some booty pie.
Like groceries.
Dude.
Look at those thunder pies.
I don't get it. I will never understand the craze with eating ass. I think that's another Russian troll thing. They're like, we beat these Americans with hepatitis.
Man, you ain't gonna
You
ain't gonna eat no ass.
No, I ain't eating no fucking ass.
Well, I mean, you don't
He's
go out
not
eating. You don't go out eating a dirty ass or a random ass.
Get you a wet wipe.
You know, exactly. Take a wet wipe. You know, get a fucking.
You get to know that ass a little bit.
They don't make a strong enough wet wipe. They don't make strong enough alcohol. They don't make strong enough bleach.
Get it like a floss.
They don't make hot enough fire to get me to eat some ass.
Like you're polishing a shoe or something.
You got to make sure, just like Trump's golden rule. If you recall.
Oh, that's getting cut in right here. Future me, that's where that joke goes.
Well, you know why birds tweet at 5 a.m?
Because they're dicks.
Because they ain't got to go to fucking work.
That's true. Goddamn lazy ass bastard bird parents.
Don't know how to raise their kids no more.
God damn.
Right. Get your kids out of the
Maybe
nest.
that's Trump's problem. He was raised by birds. He can't get off the fucking Twitter at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Man.
My mother's a flamingo, and my dad's a cardinal. That's why I'm orange. He bleaches the bags under his eyes. I mean, I'm getting my butthole done. Might as well.
If you really think about it, eyelids are nothing but little buttholes on your face, like a mouth. That's why my lips are white, too. When you squint your eyes, they look like buttholes. And I say, if it looks like a butthole, bleach it. That's my rule.
It took a minute, but it fucking got there.
Oh,
That's
I'm so happy. Because that's all cut together and ready from that's like one of the few things that got salvaged from the show that we had to re-record.
Oh, fuck yeah. I didn't even know we had to re-record it, so I'm like making a throwback, like if you would recall, and no one would. So
No.
They're recalling right now. Fond memory from about 15 seconds ago. They're having right now.
The good old days.
How's everybody's week? Hope everybody's had a fantastic week.
Yes.
My week's
So far,
not
so
been
good.
bad. Yeah, it's been all right.
Mm.
Your week's been pretty fucking good comparatively.
My week
Yeah.
has gotten substantially better, like 100%, man. I got a van that I was working for probably about 6 months now. Just literally scraping, change together and stuff like that, just saving and saving and saving, and getting, donations and stuff like that from Twitch, and doing my artwork, and everything starting to pay off. And I was actually finally able to get the down payment and the van to my house. So
Woo,
Yeah.
woo.
Hell yeah.
Good shit.
yeah, I've worked
Yeet.
my ass off.
I know that's why I don't come around no more. You ain't got that booty.
Right. I'm like skin
You knew
and
while I was in it.
bones. Yeah. I knew why you were there. You wanted that ass. And as soon as I started slimming down a little bit,
You
he was
lost
out
ass?
the door.
You lost ass, I lost interest.
Right. I lost ass and you lost ass.
No, I had it taken from me. It's different.
It hurts way more.
The feels are reals.
Yeah, especially whenever it's taken from you.
Yeah. Was that like, progressively, and I'm like, all right, maybe, he just, a little bit here, that's fine. Still got some good meat on them, but then over time, man.
You got good meat on them bones.
Trimmed off too much. The feast is ruined.
Have any idea what you've done to me?
Man.
Well, we kind of. Oh, go ahead.
I was just telling you that, and just goes to show you, like, the hard work really does pay off. And even if you're in a shitty situation, man, it could get so much better by a little bit of hard work and determination. There was some times where I almost gave up, man. I was so like in another place with it because I felt so far off, and then I finally had the opportunity and I took it, man. There's still a lot more that I need to do. I mean, I still got to pay this van off, and I still got to pay insurance and stuff like that. And then, but everything all due time, man. Everything's going to come together slowly but surely.
That's right. Rome was not built in a day.
No, that's where a lot of people
like shit, but it's true.
That's where a lot of people like get themselves bogged down mentally, and it's a big problem with like chronically depressed people and stuff like that too. Where instead of just looking at a problem as something to be solved, and it's like a series of steps, right? You look at everything that you got to do as one big thing, and you feel crushed under the weight. Whereas if you just look at it step by step, okay, step 1, let's do this. Step 2, let's do this, and just start chipping away at it. Before you know it, man, you dug yourself out.
Yep.
Boy, I did a lot of hard work on Twitch to get donations and stuff like that. And every bit of those donations went straight to this van, like I promised. And it was taking so long that I was like worrying that people are like, this dude's stealing their money.
I bet he ain't even really crippled.
I bet you he's gonna get up and walk away.
Dude, I've seen that shit happen on live stream stream fails and stuff on Reddit. This dude, he had gotten all these donations. He was a partnered Twitch streamer. He was in a wheelchair this whole time, and thought that he switched to his break scene one day and got up and walked off from his chair.
And his girlfriend was trying to cover up for him.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucked up, man.
Karma
I can promise you guys that I'm completely in a wheelchair. I'm not going anywhere.
We're not saying he needs it, but he's in it.
I would beat his ass if I ever found that out. Oh my god. I was like, you let me try to drag your ass across the pond, motherfucker.
Dude, oh my god. Time that I flipped my wheelchair on the at the pond.
Dude.
Oh no.
Man, I went up a steep embankment to get my dog, and my chair lost grip on the incline, and I flipped completely over. And Joe he had his back turned to me because he was actually, trying to catch a damn fish. And he said that he felt the ground actually like boom.
Dude, the tip
fell over.
The rod, one of my rods that was like in the rod holder and everything, the tip wiggled. Like it was like a fucking thump, dude.
Because these chairs,
oh man,
these chairs are literally weigh like 400 or 500 pounds sometimes, and that old chair weighed fucking almost 600 pounds, dude.
That was a heavy bitch. I almost couldn't even get the damn chair stood back up. When I got the chair stood back up, I was like, all right, the hard part's over. Nope.
No, extremely big batteries in these chairs, man, and there's 2 of them.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's man, it was a bitch. But anyways, got tumped over, and Joe picked my chair up, and he was like, "Damn," because we were gonna try to pick me up in the chair and stuff like that, just tump them both over at the same time. Well, that didn't happen. My seatbelt was actually, I had to undo my seatbelt because it was like cutting into my stomach. It's like cutting into my thigh, and that shit sucked, dude. So I undid the seatbelt, fell out of the chair, and he tried to pick me up. and Joe he doesn't have the best back. And he was like, I was like, bro, I don't think this is gonna work. And man, we saw some trash guys that was dumping trash and stuff like that, city guys, and they were coming in closer, and they came in to check the trash, and they're like, y'all need help? And me and Joe were like, yes.
Yeah, dude.
I called my friend Jody to come and help as well, whatever, because we didn't think that anyone else was gonna be there. So I called my friend Jody, and dude, this son of a bitch was not only like 30 minutes late, like I was already, everything was good, but he like made it extremely like, I don't know. Whenever he came into the parking lot, he was like, what? Like trying to, I don't know what the hell he was doing, but he was making a fucking scene for no reason.
Okay.
And he's like, oh, dude. He like stopped and stuff like that. And he's like, is everything okay? And it's like, man, we got everything. We got everything together. It's okay.
Like, I know you don't care that much. Calm down.
Exactly.
Drop the facade, bro.
Yeah.
It's
He
fine.
like, dude, he like can't, because he had at the time he had one of them like Dodge Chargers.
Fuck.
And of course, what? Like through the parking lot and shit.
It's a lot of testosterone.
Oh man, he was coming to
Yeah.
help somebody who fell out of their wheelchair. He was hoping there was some strange over at the park.
Dude, yeah, he showed
Your
up loud as
best
hell.
friend is
Fucking
here.
brand new Charger, loud ass Flowmasters, and you could hear that motherfucker
Jesus.
across Denton.
And me and Joe were like, we're gonna go home.
Yeah.
That's
Should we
enough
come
of
with
that.
you, bro?
Actually, I think we fished a little bit more, didn't we?
Yeah, I believe so.
But we fished on the dock a little bit more. So
Yeah, we didn't go back to the other side.
Hell no,
Mother
man.
Nature won that round.
Man, me and Joe have some extremely good fishing stories, and I want everybody to know now that I got that van, y'all should be expecting some like fishing live streams, because me and this dude, we're going to get down.
Hell
When,
yeah.
Hell yeah.
when me and Joe had the first iteration of the talk show years ago, one of the ideas that we were talking about is having a show while we're fishing and calling it a rodcast.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I love
I
it.
like that.
Trademarked. Don't you?
That's fucking.
Don't
If
you
I
steal
see
it, you
it-
sons of bitches.
I won't. I will. I won't.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
Beware. Beware.
The way the wind can get and shit out here, we might have to invest in some lav mics or something, but they're not. I don't think they're super expensive.
I'm
No, I
loud
think you
enough.
can get some decent labs for like pretty cheap anymore.
I bet you can get a nice pair of them too. It's like
Yeah.
two or four, a set of four for, however much. But two would work just fine. We could just clip them on our shirts.
Yeah, from Musician's Friend, you can get a Shure, a lavalier for $40.
Oh,
Shit, yeah, dude. That's nice.
Yeah.
I told you, since you have the good phone, since you have a badass phone, Joe, like we can invest in some equipment and stuff like that, and we would be on it.
I always forget that like mobile stuff has gotten like so much more expensive.
Yeah. And it's really hard to find a mobile data plan that doesn't make it prohibitively expensive to try to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I recently switched from Verizon to T-Mobile, and I've got an unlimited data plan with them. They
Damn.
don't throttle. At least they say they don't. And I haven't noticed that they have, and I use my mobile data a lot. I don't even hardly listen to the radio in the car anymore. I'm just like listening to podcasts and shit when I drive around.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn
So-
skip.
Yeah, I definitely can't wait to try that. Try to get a what you call it, tripod for the phone. We
Yeah.
just set that up and oh man,
And
yeah,
it's gonna
it
be
sounds like a
so-
lot of fun.
I can't wait. Now that I have transportation, man, big things are happening. I told Joe last night, I was like, do you realize how many concerts we have? And I like named off all of these bands. He's like, damn, we have a lot to do.
Dude.
Me and Catherine are gonna go to BFD, and we're going to the Korn and Alice in Chains concert.
Oh
And
fuck
yeah.
Hell
yeah!
yeah.
We're gonna be there too.
And you know,
Fucking A.
Slipknot just announced their summer tour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna be there too. I told
So-
Joe that. That's like get ready for some Slipknot.
Right, I need to get all this shit out of the way before this fall.
Yes,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
do it.
And now,
Well,
dude,
speaking of things we've been teasing and stuff, last week when we ended the show, we were talking about some tripping stories and stuff like that. Stories that we've had with, or experiences that we'd had with, you know, DMT and mushrooms, things like that. And we had mentioned the fact that we were going to talk about it this week.
magical.
So, you know, I
So
figure
fantastical.
we still got 45 minutes, and it's going to be hard to stick to 45 minutes.
Especially whenever everybody has a damn story.
It might be good to go ahead and just go ahead and get into it a little bit.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to be the odd man out because I haven't had any of those experiences yet.
You never taken psychedelics?
Nope, I
How,
have not.
man,
Not one.
we gotta
Not that I wouldn't.
get you on some psychedelics, brother.
Let's just make him a junkie.
yeah,
Put that shit in the
dude.
post box. Just send it over.
I would recommend DMT of anything, dude. DMT was the most amazing feeling and the
Yeah.
most amazing experience that I've ever had. Mushrooms, since I'm in a wheelchair, I have nerve damage throughout my entire body. And sometimes
Right.
whenever I take acid or mushrooms or anything like that, it makes my legs go crazy. Like literally, like they'll be shaking. But I'll be laughing my ass off and sweating my ass off. But I'll be having a good time. But DMT was the most amazing feeling, and it helped me get over so many obstacles in my life that I was stuck on.
Dude, yeah.
100%. If you the way that I did it was I did it like a dab, so it was like a hot skillet. You get a hot with a blowtorch or one of those butane torches,
Mm.
and it actually came in a crystallized form, and you put it down on the skillet, and as soon as I hit it, like closed my eyes, and I felt like a soda being opened up, the fizz that comes out. I literally felt like I was just a big soda being open, or like a stick of butter in a warm skillet just gradually being melted.
I feel like a
Dude.
piece of butter on top of a warm pile of flapjacks.
Yeah, dude, you feel some wonderful ways. That's a damn good drug.
That sounds pretty great.
Every
I've had a
time
few
I've
people
done
tell me about it.
DMT, I've experienced like just pure joy and happiness. You know, like
Yeah.
the epitome of being happy is like, you know, every time I do that drug, and like it's just because it really does take you to another level and another plane of existence. You know,
True.
you're not nothing like acid does, and nothing like mushrooms do. DMT is an
And it does-
animal and a beast amongst itself.
And it doesn't last as long either, but
Like 15 minutes.
yeah, but the
Oh, that's
trip that
solid.
you have is so amazing. Like when I was looking at the sun through the leaves and stuff like that of the trees, and dude, it opened up my eyes to the world, bro. It was amazing. I still picture it to this day. Like everything that I tripped, everything that I saw, it wasn't like bunnies and crazy shit and stuff like that. It was real life stuff. It just brought out the beauty of everything, man. I appreciated life after I got done doing it.
Fuck yeah. Damn.
Fantastic way to end that. It does. You do appreciate life more after you do these things, because like DMT, in my opinion, to a degree, way more than like acid or mushrooms do, really takes you. I forgot what I was saying. It does that to you too. There are residual effects in the long run. But no, DMT just gives you an appreciation for everything around you. You know, it's like when you come out of it, you're refreshed, you're revitalized. And
There's
at least for me. At least for me.
yeah, there was
Yeah.
like no come down, and like whenever you did come down off of it, it was like you were riding. I thought of it like this way: you go up it on a wave, and you're coming down, but you're coming down gradually and stuff like that. And the way that everything just dissipated, it was like, wow, I learned some stuff.
Yeah.
I actually I had a lot of things going on in my life at that moment, and it opened my eyes to those things, and I got rid of those things in my life and stuff, and my life is 100% better thanks to doing that. I was actually able to open my eyes and see the world around me for what it really is, and it's a beautiful place, man.
Except for those damn runny ass pancakes.
Dude, it felt amazing. Oh, and another thing, um, the flannel pattern is my favorite pattern in the entire world because of that. I, for some reason, whenever I was tripping, whatever, I saw the flannel. You know what flannel is, right? The
Yes.
clothing pattern.
Think of the Brawny Man.
Right.
Right.
Dude, that is my favorite pattern. My like any color combinations for flannel, just man, it's beautiful. I just want to rub my face on it.
I bet you
Hey.
loved Al from Home Improvement.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I
Joe,
loved Home Improvement.
Joe, you've been pretty quiet. You got any?
I was being quiet because Haley was getting home, so I had my mic muted.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like I've got some slightly different experiences with DMT because, like, okay, I every time I did it has been on the same day. I've done it 3 times. First time, it was in like a whip style weed vaporizer, like a Silver Surfer. As a matter of fact, I think that was the actual brand name. So you just, you have this what they call a whip. It's got a glass tube at one end and then a rubber tube it's about 1.5 feet long or so, and you've got a heating element that's on a base, and you just put whatever you're gonna put in this glass tube and then stick it on that heating element and just start drawing, and you pull the hot air through. That's the first time I did it, and that was a much more mellow experience. I stayed pretty quote unquote conscious the whole time. I remember the whole experience. It lasted about 10 minutes, maybe 8 to 10 minutes. It was almost like looking through a kaleidoscope on that super, like, what ended up being like a super low dose. It's almost like looking through a kaleidoscope. My entire field of view changed color, and then I had this kind of circular, almost flower in the center of my field of view. It was a little darker, and the like geometric shapes all over the place. It was constantly like moving and everything. It was really crazy, and it changed color depending on who I was looking at.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
A good friend of mine, Jake. That's the night I actually decided, I was like, I need to talk to this dude and get to know him, because like one of my favorite colors is this like light kind of grass green. And like soon as I looked at him, my field of view exploded. Like everything cleared up. Like I quit having that circle pattern in the center. My field of view exploded in these like kind of undulating triangles, turned that color green, and I was like, all right, when this is all over, I'm gonna go outside and have a cigarette with him and talk to that dude. And he ended up being a really good friend. We played, found out he was a World of Warcraft addict just like me, and
hell yeah,
we ended up playing WoW together quite a bit.
Jake is a nerd in a jock's body.
He really is. He's a nerd that could fucking destroy you if he wanted to.
I love how we know so many people. Us three know so many people from our lives. Like Jake, he's been part of my life since I was, 16, 17 years old. Like right whenever I first came home from being in a wheelchair, he was one of my first friends. And it's so funny that you guys know him as well. Love it.
awesome.
Yeah.
That same night, I ended up. Well, I did that again once, and then I was like, this is it's not boring, but it's like, I'm not really getting a lot out of this. And the guy that we were getting it from suggested, he was like, well, because he was selling it in hits, so you'd get, I don't remember how much per hit or whatever, but it looked like a little pea-sized amount per hit, little orange crystals. And he was like, well, you could take your like a full I forget what he called the dose, but he's like, you take 3 hits at once, and you go to a completely different place. And I'm like, well, fuck it, let's do it. And so yeah, dude, I bought 3 more.
He's a good salesman.
I'm still getting an echo somewhere.
Is it me?
No.
Not me.
But no, it's Aqua.
Oh yeah, I see it. Sorry.
Son of a bitch, ruined the story.
I didn't mean to. I feel bad.
Don't feel bad.
Back to the story. Our hero has just taken 3 hits of DMT.
Anyway, so we put, instead of putting it in that whip, another thing he suggested was to put it in a bong on top of some weed. And
that's how I do it.
Dude, I did that. Put a like a small flame to it. Like I didn't didn't just like roast it completely. I just let it melt down into there, and then I roasted the bowl. And as I'm letting it out, my vision pixelated like you wouldn't fucking believe. And then I started to understand, and the feeling like you're like a soda being opened up. That is a really, really accurate explanation, because your vision, your ears, everything fizzes, and it just starts, everything feels like it's bubbling over, and then you're just you're gone.
And it's not
like,
violent, nothing violent at all, dude.
Yeah, I've never experienced anything violent or negative, and I've done
or negative, yeah.
No, I've never gotten any negative experiences. Well, I mean, I guess coming out of it, you could maybe consider a little negative, but I didn't feel negative about it at the time. It was just, I was that disoriented. But well, no, it was like the thing is, like, talking about it now, I can't remember the vast majority of it, because it was almost like coming out of a dream. Like as I was waking up, and for a couple hours after, I could remember the whole thing. I was talking about it, telling stories about it and everything. Now I don't remember any of it. I remember the, the quote unquote come up. I remember the, the fizzy thing, my vision pixelate and going all kinds of different colors. I remember feeling kind of like I was like flying through space, kind of. If that, I mean, it's not exactly like that, but I did not feel the effects of gravity. I felt like I was floating and flying, and then everything's fuzzy. And then I remember coming back, like I remember feeling like so profoundly happy where I was at, but then the thought hit me of, well, if I don't go back, I'm gonna miss these people. Haley's gonna miss me. I've got my job. I've got this, I've got that, and things started coming at me like a flood. Like everything that I had here, everything that I had to come back for, started hitting me like a flood, and it was like boom, 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 and then bam! I'm sitting on Mike's couch next to Mike and Daryl, and don't know how I got there, where I got back. I'm just, all of a sudden, I'm like manually breathing, trying to put air in my lungs, feeling like I'm fine now, right? I feel cool, but now when I think back to the way I was looking, or the way things looked, no, I was not done tripping. Everything was still kind of had the geometric patterns to it and everything, but I remember feeling super disoriented. Everything spun for a second, and then I felt like, okay, I need to go throw up. Ran to the bathroom, dry heaved a couple of times, sit down on the tile, and then thinking, I remember having the thought, all right, I'm back. I'm completely back to normal, and everything's cool. But everything was not cool, because I remember seeing the color of the tile change in shape, change in size. going up and down, up and down. Everything's almost like moving with the music in the other room. It was really fucking nuts.
Do you know the reason why you wanted to go back so bad?
What do you mean? Which direction?
Okay, whenever the first time you're like wanting to, go back to that feeling, going back to that place, whatever.
Oh, when I was initially talking about like I remember feeling like real happy and didn't want to leave.
Right. Do you want to know why? Is because that's the closest to death that you can get before actually dying, because the serotonin in your brain that's releasing in your brain is the same serotonin as you get whenever you're dying. So that feeling, you were pretty much not on the brink of death, but in your mind, that's where you were at. That's what it's gonna feel like whenever you die. You've experienced death. Pretty cool, huh?
Fuck.
I don't know if cool's the word. I mean, it's comforting. It's comforting in a way to know, like, I didn't go to a place where I necessarily felt like, I was scared to be, right? Like, I went to a place that I felt like I belonged and I was happy, and it was nuts. Dude. I was probably out, like, Daryl was like, dude, you were out long enough, like, I got a little bit worried because, like, normally it's like a 5-10 minute thing, and I was apparently, like, sitting on the couch, like, unconscious for, like, 15 minutes.
Shit.
Yeah, dude.
I was telling mother effers to leave you be because you'll be fine just a little bit, and they were all freaking out.
Well, they didn't, like, that whole night we had been doing that shit, and they never saw anybody just, like, fall out like that, and I went completely out. As far as I know, like, I don't remember being conscious or moving around or anything.
You gotta take their word for it.
I was trying to tell people that if you die, we'll just throw you in the road.
We'll just throw him in the dumpster. We don't like that guy.
It's like we never knew him.
And then he comes back, I love that guy.
Right. You want to know why we had you over tonight? Because tomorrow's trash day, Just, we're playing this out.
Yeah, DMT is definitely one of those things, though, where it's like, I'm not even sure it's possible to do enough to hurt yourself. I'm not that knowledgeable in it, but it's also one of those things where, like, you're in and out of it so fast, where, like, if you just want to try a hallucinogen and you don't know what it's all about, and you want to try something that's, like, quote unquote natural, that's one of the ones you can go for, because it's not a big time investment, and I've never heard of anybody having a bad time, but if you do have a bad time, it's like 10 minutes, 15 tops, and then you're done.
That 10, 15 minutes can feel like a long time.
Yeah.
I remember for a good minute after the experience, I remember for a good minute feeling like I felt like I came back from, when they say, "Oh, I've been tripping." No, I felt like I came back from an actual, like, journey, like a vacation. Yeah. Like I felt like I went somewhere, I was gone for a while, and then came home.
Like rejuvenated.
It put a new meaning into the word trip.
God dang.
Unless I'm just forgetting from earlier, because that shit happens to me, and I'll cut this part out anyway, if that's the case. What have been your experiences so far with the DMT, Nick?
I've taken it, I think, like I said, maybe a little more than a handful of times, and the only one, like, because like a lot of them are just, I don't know how to describe them really effectively, because I'm not good at that with easy stuff. But like I remember the first time I did it like you were saying, I did it in a bong with some weed, full hit throughout it, and I ripped the whole thing in one. And then, like, there's a TV in front of me, and it's turned off, and all of a sudden it flashes on, and it's that screen, with the multicolored lines when it's like the channel's off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, and it goes to that screen. And then all of a sudden, like, the TV starts breaking off into little boxes and little cubes, like, separating like that, and then it falls to the floor, and then, like, when the colors fall to the floor, it splashes over, like, my whole surroundings. So everything becomes lines of white and red and blue, and I'm start walking through it, and faces and stuff are just coming out of the window, or coming out of like the colors, and just asking me questions, and like, what do you want to know? And I'm asking them questions, and it's a really good way, I feel, to, if you're like have something that you can't figure out or come to grips with or come to terms with, I feel like DMT is a good way to go, like, or acid as well is a good way to take those head on, because it allows your mind to be opened and free to think about it in ways you may not have on a normal plane, you know?
Yeah.
And it just, go ahead.
Acid to me feels a little bit more like it feels a little bit more like there's a little bit more toxins going into my body other than like
Absolutely.
DMT.
Absolutely.
I just the come down is so much better on DMT than acid. They're completely, to me, they're like two different worlds.
Yeah, they're two completely different substances, and with the acid, like, there's not, unless you're just, I mean, you can never tell, where you're getting it, not usually anyway. But you take it in such minute amounts and stuff, I mean, there's not really going to be enough quote unquote toxins there to do much. But one of the things that does happen, I mean, when you're tripping, especially on acid, like you're in there for like 8 to 10 hours. It's exhausting.
It is.
It's fucking rough, man. It's mentally, and you just, I mean, and the giggle fits. I don't know that if everybody gets that, but every time I've done it, I cannot fucking stop laughing. Everything is hilarious.
The people I know who've done it have spent like a solid hour or two just laughing every time they did it.
That's the best part of
it.
it.
Good place.
Experiences like that, man.
We were doing that on mushrooms, dude.
Laughing,
like just.
Man.
I remember, one time I was still living in Denton. I was living at a roommate, and me and him were tripping on acid, and I'm watching Pirates of the Caribbean while I'm tripping, and then I used to have this fleece blanket. It was a picture of like 2 wolves, and I hung it up on the wall. I tacked it up to the wall for decoration because I was tacky like that and thought that looked cool back then. And I'm sitting there, and next thing I know, I'm watching the blanket, and the wolves' mouths are just moving along to the dialogue of the movie, and it was just fantastic.
Man,
that sounds fantastic.
That sounds intense.
It was. It was not fantastic though when they got to the skeleton parts of the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh no!
that was not fun.
That was probably pretty rough.
Man. There's that part. I'm watching it, right? And there's that part like where the skeleton monkey comes out of nowhere and just in the face. Like, I'm scared. I fell out of my chair when that happened. I got so scared. And I had seen that movie countless of times before now.
Damn.
When I was on like a low-ish dose of acid at one of Marathon's old places, and we were watching the first Avengers movie.
Hell yeah.
And I thought I was gonna fucking die. Like I thought I was never gonna catch my breath from laughing at Thor, or not Thor, but
Hulk.
The Hulk, fucking whooping the shit out of Loki.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, when he just like grabbed him and just bam, 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 I fucking lost my shit. I thought I was gonna fucking die.
No,
or at least pass out.
I love the face you made when Bruce Banner first turns into the Hulk on the helicarrier, and that part where he's chasing Scarlet Witch through those things and just busting up the corridor and the lights and everything. Your face on there went from "this is awesome" to "I'm so terrified" in just a split second.
Well, it wasn't even terrified. It was like a full-on amazement because the picture at that point left the TV. Like it pretty much filled up my entire field of view. Like I couldn't see anything else. Everything that was like the whole movie, and I had just started to ride toward the first peak. So like this is all like starting to build over and over at this point. That was like right around the time the first peak started to roll in, and dude, it it overwhelmed me. I'm glad that it didn't freak me out that bad, because it could have, like, if I was on a higher dose, like, I can imagine that turning into, oh my god, he's after me, let me run away.
Right. Just booking it out the door. Just,
I was able to keep enough grasp on my mind, like, I know that I'm watching a movie, but this is the most epic movie experience that I'll ever have. 3D can suck my ass.
3D ain't got nothing on this.
No.
Yeah. No, the greatest movies I think I've ever watched tripping is just like, it's that, that, I think it's DreamWorks, with that dinosaur movie, because we were going to watch something else, and we were tripping. We decided, we're gonna watch this while we're tripping. But that movie, there's an animated movie about dinosaurs, where this one, I think it's an iguanodon, he travels around with these bunch of monkey looking things, and but that preview of that comes on, and I'm like, I want to watch that right now. And then the person who I was tripping with, he was like, I own that movie. And I got so happy I started crying.
Man, I remember when me, Marcus, and Tilted Padre, Aaron, we were all hanging out, and we all did quite a bit of mushrooms, man. We were absolutely gone. And I remember at the beginning of the trip, we started watching the movie Hardcore Henry. And if
Love that movie.
if any of you guys have seen Hardcore Henry, it's like a first person shooter movie through the entire fucking movie, and it's insane. Like, you are in this movie.
I'm gonna say this: Charlito Copley's best performance of his entire career. He should have been nominated for an Oscar.
I love that movie. So we watched that, and we were munching stuff like that. And for some reason, when I do mushrooms, I get really, really, really sweaty, just because my nervous system's all fucked up and it's wired differently and stuff like that due to my car accident. And I remember after that, we started watching music videos. And we watched like a bunch of like Tool music videos.
Oh yes,
Absolutely. If you want to trip some absolute ass, watch some Tool videos.
Parabolas ones where it's that living person, but you can see all their like nervous system and stuff on it.
We were watching, and one that stands out the most is we were watching The Pot, and the music video is these slugs are coming down from outer space, and they start living with the humans and stuff like that, and then they start like stealing the humans and consuming the humans and stuff like that, and all these people are running from them and things like that. And there's one woman, there's like one woman that's left, and throughout the entire movie or the entire music video, she's getting chased. And I remember like, oh my god, that slug is going to get that lady, and everybody was just like so into it. They're like, oh my god, the slug's gonna get that lady. And she runs up in this apartment complex, and I remember everybody like, oh, thank god she like survived. And the fucking window comes up, and the slug fucking grabs the lady and drags her out the window. And I remember everybody like, oh my god, freaking out, man. And after that, everybody went, their separate ways and stuff like that. Everybody was coming down, but we were still really fucking tripping. And because you have like cycles whenever you're tripping, you'll go through an intense high, and then everything feels okay. And then you go through this intense fucking high, and then everything feels like okay. And if you really do some mushrooms, whatever it is, you get another cycle, and everybody's like, oh, okay, calming down. But then we start laughing so hard at this room full of chairs, man. Just all of these chairs. I remember because when I first moved in, we got rid of all the couches and stuff like that. And no one had anywhere to sit. We had all of these chairs that were just given to me. And I just remember me and Padre and Marcus just fucking doubled over scream laughing because all of these chairs in this big ass room. It was so hilarious, man. We were dying. It was good. Good fun.
My
Love it.
favorite. Oh, go ahead, Tingles.
Oh no, I was just commenting.
Oh, well then shut the hell up when I'm talking. I'm
Oh
sorry.
goodness.
No, you good. I know you love me.
Mwah. My favorite acid trip is when I took 4 hits of acid and went to the aquarium. And so we got to start the story from the night before, because the night before at midnight I went and did my crawl on Fry Street in Denton. So we got so drunk, and I was out until like 2:30 drinking, and get home, and we wake up at 8 to go to the aquarium. And so it's me and my buddy Jeremy, and he bought it for me, and he was paying for my trip to the aquarium. And so we get up, and we wake up, and we have some juice and some. He has some coffee, and I'm just feeling like garbage. And so our boss gets there about 8:30, and we take the 4 hits of acid apiece. And so we get in the car, and it's our boss from work taking us to the aquarium to babysit us. And like I'm 6'2", and Barbie's probably like 5'6", and I think she was 4'10" and a half. Is how tall she was. And she was supposed to babysit us while we are trying to keep our composure together on this trip. And so we get there, and my stomach starts bubbling. And I'm like, oh no, and the alcohol's kicking back. So you know those poops you get after you have a night of hard drinking?
Yep.
So that hit me as soon as I got in at the aquarium. So I go to the bathroom. Jeremy's coming, following behind with me. And I'm in the bathroom, and they hit me. And they hit me so hard. And I'm going to tell you right now, there is nothing more difficult than trying to take a poop while you're high on acid. I have never gone to the bathroom so much and gotten so little accomplished. I'm just in there for like, I couldn't tell you how long, but I know it's a long time because I can just feel it in my butt that I've been sitting for too long. Because like, if you've been to the aquarium in Dallas, like it has like designs on the stalls and on the floor, and they're all moving and doing different stuff, and I'm just whoa. So finally, I get up, I wipe my butt. Way too much, I realize in hindsight.
You can never be too sure, though, in that situation.
No, that's
so
true.
I work my way out of the stall. I go wash my hands, and which that was a hell of an experience because I turn the water on, and I'm fascinated by it. I turn it off, and then I turn it back on, and then I turn it off, and then I turn it back on. And then I look to my left, and there's this man just sitting there staring at me.
He's like, oh, good Lord.
And I went, oh. And so I left without even ever washing my hands.
Oh, no. In a public bathroom in Dallas. That's horrible.
Oh, my.
Yeah. And at the time, at my job where I was working, where we all worked, we had this running joke where somebody would be telling a story, and then we would just be like, over it, and we'd walk off. And so we're going throughout, and nobody got the feelings hurt because it was just a running joke that we all did. And so we're going through the aquarium. That just joke is so funny to us. And we're just like looking at it. Oh, look, there's a manta. Over it. Oh, look, there's the shark. Over it. And, just like, I know we just sound like obnoxious, absurd idiots in the thing. And so we're going through it, and like it's hitting me more and more. And she's having to help us walk. And we come across like the flamingos in the section, and she wanted to get a picture of Jeremy with the flamingos pointing at him. And so this is going to take a minute, but I'm going to walk you through exactly how it went. And I'm assuming in his mind, he thought she wanted him to say flamingos while she was taking the picture. So he's over there, and it's literally like this: flamingo, 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 flamingo. And he just got stuck in that loop of just saying flamingo. And
no.
I effing lost it. And I mean lost it. And I'm literally on the ground in the middle of the aquarium, laughing my ass off, killed over. And at that point, everything was okay because I knew at that point everybody else knew we were on drugs.
Oh, yeah. It's when you don't want them to know that you feel the anxiety, but once you know they know, you're like, all right, fuck it then.
Yeah. And so literally for a minute and a half, he's just reading flamingos over and over and over again.
Hey, Flamingo, you need to get out of here.
She probably thought that this poor lady got tasked to taking these two special kids to the aquarium today.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Dwayne
man.
The Rock Johnson.
Oh, dude. Flamingo.
And after this, I have to go to the bathroom again, and Jeremy comes with me, and we're sitting in stalls next to each other. And once again, such a long time, got nothing done. And I'm in there looking at the shapes, and he's just sitting there. And then all of a sudden, he just starts laughing. And that just triggers me, and I start laughing. And we're just laughing back and forth, getting louder and louder. And our boss comes up to the bathroom, and she's like, hey, guys. And we're like, yeah. She's like, everybody can hear you in here. And Jeremy goes, well, fuck them. And I lose my shit again. And so we wrap up at the aquarium. To shorten this long story up, we wrap up at the aquarium and we're heading home. And we get back to the place, and the car ride was just fantastic because the windows were down and it was just blowing air on us, and loved every bit of it. And so we get there, and I get thirsty, and I was like, I'm gonna go to the gas station and get something to drink. And this is probably 5 hours in, and I'm hitting the peak. And I get to the gas station, and I get to the wall of soda drinks on the back wall. And I became so overwhelmed, I didn't know what to do because there were so many choices. And I'm just sitting up there for literally 20 minutes is what that guy told me. He's like, I counted you. You were here for 20 minutes before you bought a drink. And I was like, you just let me stay here? He's like, I didn't know what to do. You would stand up straight, and then you would crouch over, and I'd stand up straight, and I'd crouch back over, and then I'd move a couple feet down, and I'd stand up straight, and I'd crouch back over. And he's like, I didn't know what to do with you. And so I finally get a drink, and I make my way back to the house. And some buddies of mine show up, and they're like, hey, we just got some dabs. You want to come do some dabs? I'm like, oh, yeah. And so we go over there, and Jeremy's like, no, I'm okay. And so I go over there, do some dabs, have a few drinks. I'm starting to come down. I get back to Jeremy's place, and then this was like at midnight. And I get in, and there's a note on the desk in the house, and it says, "If I died, it's because I broke my penis." And I'm like, what? That's what I said. So I go wake him up. I was like, Jeremy. He's like, what? I was like, I need to see your penis. He's like, what? I was like, I need to see your penis. We need to know if we need to go to the hospital right now. So he pulls it out after like a few minutes of like, look, I gotta know. I don't care. I have a penis. I see a penis every day. Somebody else's isn't gonna affect me. And he pulls it out. I guess he was masturbating while he was tripping, and he busted a blood vessel in his penis.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
And that was my 24th birthday.
Damn, that's a pretty good birthday, though.
It was.
Wow. What a finisher.
Man.
Literally.
Might have to be bleeping out old dude's name.
Oh,
Man, he's not gonna listen to this. Who am I kidding? Damn it, man, that's funny.
Yeah.
Dude,
That's
I ended
hardcore.
up taking my fucking hero's journey with Jake, dude. We both got 5 grams of pretty potent mushrooms a piece, and I told him, because like the way I normally like to do them, because if you do them like 2 grams at a time, you get 5 or 6 grams in you, 2 grams at a time over the course of maybe 2 or 3 hours into your trip, you'll end up with these peaks and valleys just like when you're tripping on acid. And it's fucking awesome. And that's the way I like to do it. He is Mr. Big Billy Badass, and he likes to do everything hardcore. At least, well, he did. Fucking, yeah, so finally we did it. And I was like, well, if you want to do this, we're going to do it. So we ground up all 5 grams a piece and put them in shots of orange juice,
Oh,
because
man.
you put them in a super acidic solution like that, and it kind of leaches everything out and gets it into your system a lot faster.
Mm.
And so it all hits you just like, you know, bam, all of a sudden, hi, you're tripping. Like we went from you know, swallowing orange juice to 5 minutes later crying, laughing. It was that fast. The giggles started. Dude, and by the time it was really fully going, like I was trying to put music on the TV, but I couldn't get to the music. I don't do well with like remotes, keypads, phones, numbers, reading numbers at all when I'm tripping. It's so fucking hard to do. So I couldn't get to where I wanted to get, and I ended up somehow or another getting Big Bang Theory on.
Oh, hell yeah.
And well, Sheldon's constant bullshit, the way he does, just, you know, his personality and the way he behaves. It kept causing my my consciousness to fragment. So I ended up in a loop where I was experiencing short fragments of time in succession over and over and over again until I would get through the loop, and then I could start experiencing something new.
Jeez.
And that went on for fuck knows how long.
God
We
dang.
we were both tripping for a good probably 10 hours. Every time I looked over at him, he was on. I'm this big fucking giant fat dude, and I'm on this little love seat, and he is this like athletic dude, and he's on my big giant cushy couch, all wrapped up in this comforter, and all I can see every time I look over is his face, and I'd look over at him, and I'd look at him for a second, and then he'd look up at me from the blanket, and then nod, and I'd nod back, and he'd go back into the blanket. That was his entire trip from my perspective. I don't know what was going on in his head, and he can't tell me, except for the fact that at some point, I guess he started seeing like strobing colors in his vision, and he was seeing red and blue strobes in his vision, and he thought the cops were here.
Oh shit.
And he said he was like I'm too high to do anything about it, so they're just gonna have to carry me out of here, and went back in the blanket. And I was like, wait a minute, what'd you say? And he was like, nothing. That's the only words I heard out of him the whole time. Once he went into that blanket, he didn't speak another word until the next morning, other than, I'm too high to do anything about it. They're just going to have to carry me out. And I was like, you sure?
It's taking you somewhere.
What?
I found out what that was about the next morning. He woke up still in the apartment, and he was like, did the cops come last night? I was like, no.
We would not be here if they did.
Been carried out of here in white jackets, bro.
Man,
And white
We're gonna be
jackets.
okay.
I could fill up an hour-long show talking about that trip by itself. That was an epic show, dude.
Maybe we'll have to return to this subject and do more stories.
Oh, we will. I'm sure we will.
Because I got plenty of stories.
Oh yeah, so do I.
I have one sad story, but it's not sad like you might be thinking. So
That's good.
it's always been so hard.
Is
for
it
me.
funny sad or sad sad?
I guess it depends on your perspective. For me, it was sad. For everybody else, it's normally funny.
Okay.
So I've never been able to get mushrooms easily, ever. And I finally, when it finally did, was able to get after fucking years of searching for one. Finally, because I was able to get them sparingly. Like, hey, I got some extra. I'll sell you some. And and I finally got some. I finally met a guy who sold them. So I'm buying them from him. 2 weeks. 2 weeks after he became my dealer, he trips on a bunch of mushrooms, finds Jesus, and stops selling.
Oh, I remember that.
Did you remember
I remember
that?
that because those were the best fucking mushrooms I ever fucking had, dude. And we had just gotten, like, maybe a week before, we had just gotten maybe like 2.5 grams a piece or something. And I'm like, I need more of these.
Yeah.
And you're like, yep.
Yeah.
He goes to get more, and there was never any more of those.
Nope. He found Jesus and stopped selling.
Oh no.
Son of a bitch.
Man,
telling
when
Oh, that's
mushrooms go wrong, hey, every now and then they will drive you legitimately batty.
Right?
Right.
Sometimes you will accidentally fall into a cult because you ate too many mushrooms.
Right, that happens.
The
I
bed
think I
there.
saw a Lifetime movie about that.
Shit, Tom Cruise might have been there. I don't know.
Fuck.
I still ain't figured that shit out. Maybe that's what they do. Them Scientology guys are running around just slipping mushrooms to celebrities.
Well, they got it. You think they just have like dirt on them?
Yeah, I think that's the
Probably
story. That's the general. That's the.
Or was
That's
that
the
the
general
running,
skinny on it. That's
theory?
yeah, Leia Ramini or whatever her name is. That's what she says. She says they bring them in for these quote unquote audits or whatever, where they're supposed to like, hey, I know you're thinking about something. Where's your head at? Blah blah blah. And they like coax their like deepest darkest secrets out of them, and then they use it to extort them and shit.
Oh damn!
Damn.
That's
Fucking hardcore.
That's what she says. Scientology, don't at me.
Oh,
What do
no.
you think, Scientology? Let us know down in the comments.
Okay, I'll be down there. Just
You can whatever to me if you want to.
Come at me, bro.
I'll fight you.
I'll fight you over the computer, not in physics, not in real life.
you'll end that fight living in a refrigerator box
All right.
that you rent from the Church of Scientology.
No, I don't want to take on Xenu or whatever his name is. I've seen Independence.
Xenu got all the monies.
I am not cut out for it.
No.
Xenu's got Tom Cruise's money. He's got John Travolta's money. He got
Will
fucking
Smith.
Nicole Kidman, Will Smith. He got everybody's money.
Oh shit.
Hyde from that 70s show.
The fucking
Oh,
dude that
no.
used to play Earl from My Name Is Earl. He I don't know if he's still
No!
I don't know if he still is, but he during that show he was, and a lot of people on that cast,
Really?
like a large percentage of that cast was Scientologists.
No way.
Yeah, the big old fat dude
Really?
played his brother. He was a Scientologist.
Yeah. Oh, I love
Ethan
that guy.
Suplee?
Damn
Yeah.
it.
Dude, a lot of people you end up going, "No, not you too." Man, they get some people that you wouldn't expect.
Oh my
Maybe
god, I
they know
can't believe they
something
had
we don't.
Jason Lee, man.
Dude.
And Jason Lee lives here in Denton.
Did he move there?
Yeah,
Really?
him and his
He did
wife.
that a
didn't
few
know
years
that.
ago, right? He did a few years ago. I
Yeah,
think I remember hearing about that.
There's a little
Shit.
documentary about him. It's like that. He's like, Jason Lee doesn't want to move to Denton to own Denton. Jason Lee wants to move to Denton because his family wants to, or something like that. It's like this video. It's so weird. I'm like,
That's Jason Lee for you.
Did he show up in Denton and start buying a bunch of shit?
no, hey, well,
Some
yeah,
kind
he
of
bought
Scientology
LSA
documentary.
burger.
He
has
bought the
that LSA
Catfish
burger.
King. Oh man.
Man, we actually filled
We got another
About-
good 40 minutes there.
we got about 40 minutes the first time, so we got about
Nice.
80 minutes to play with right there. But that was, man, we have a lot, and I didn't even tell all my tripping stories.
I didn't
We
either.
got a lot of stories, but dude, because I got
Yeah.
another one with you that I guess I have to save for another one now.
Yeah, tell
Well,
me.
the part that's relevant is real short. I was tripping on acid with him and one of his exes, and we were sitting in their room, and the Giggle Fit stage started.
Yes.
I don't remember what got us on the conversation, except for the fact that we were trying to get somebody to change the channel on the TV, and nobody
Yes.
wanted to get up and do it. And I'm like, "Well, where's the remote?" And they go, "We don't have a remote." And I was like, "It is 2014. Why do you not have a remote in 2014? You still touching your TV?" I said 2014 probably 26 times.
It was so funny.
I wasn't
So
mad
funny.
either. It was one of those playful, just
Yeah.
playfully aggressive rants, and it was just hilarious, dude. We were
Oh, it
in
was good
tears
times.
laughing about the fact that they ain't had a remote.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
man.
There's a lot to go along with that particular. That's the funniest part of that particular
Yeah.
story, though.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
let's
we
sign off. Let's sign
yeah, I was
off.
gonna say let's do our alphabetical order and shit, because we're at 50 minutes now on this.
Yeah, we're putting.
We can cut out the
pushing it.
movie talk.
Oh, that's definitely that's happening. So.
Yeah. So
Wait.
to make it, it doesn't fit with the rest of it.
Yeah.
My name is Aquaberry Shark.
I'm Merithidian.
I'm Regular Joe.
And I'm Tangles Bay.
And we're the Savage Society. Fucking knew
That
it.
was close.
We are never getting it.
We did
That was
get it
probably the
close.
closest we've gotten though.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
We did it live, and it was like.